Oh, we found this kitten today, like at the recycling plant. Oh, the tradesman crawled underneath this shipping container, like just to catch the thing. Got like a bunch of photos with it. It was actually a really cute kitten, but
Was it dirty? Did it smell like trash?
I didn't go near it. I was like, that's going to give me herpes if I even
Look, I'm
look
sure
at it for too long.
I'm sure it was a cute kitten, but I've got a thing where stray cats,
Yeah,
I don't touch them.
That's
That's
exactly
not
what
for
my
me.
thoughts was.
Even
That
other
video
people.
with the fox.
Oh fuck!
God!
would it bit him? No, I got a thing with stray cats. Hey, like even other people's cats. I don't know why, but like stray animals, and it's weird because I think if I saw a kangaroo and knew that they were friendly, I'd go and pat it. But if I see a stray dog that's probably pretty friendly or a stray cat that's pretty friendly, I won't touch it just because of maybe a stigma around it that it might have ticks or fleas or... Roos just seem clean.
Well,
They seem clean. Roos, yeah.
I just wouldn't want to get clawed up by one.
yeah.
Put mitts on it. I'll go it every day.
They do savage stuff, hey, so they lean back on their tail and
Kick
then
you.
claw you,
Yeah.
the bloody guts out. The weirdest, most angry vegetarians. Like,
I think what I like about the
Cassowary.
kangaroo, like,
yeah, true.
they're carnivores for sure.
Nah.
Yeah, I could picture him. I don't know.
Like most birds are carnivores.
Yeah.
Like most,
Yeah.
there's quite a few that try
Eating worms.
Yeah.
Welcome to the pilot of Way Off Central. My name's Aydin, and I'm here with Joel and Josh, the other co-hosts.
What up?
What's going on?
Galahs and cockatoos, like, really, they love each other. I think they have one partner for life, because a lot of birds do it, but if one dies, the other one's like, I just can't live without it. So literally, we were driving once and a bird just nosedived right into the windscreen of my car. Like, it felt like it happened in slow motion. There was nothing I could do. It came out of nowhere, hit the car, bounced off, dead. And I was like, that was on purpose.
I love hitting birds. There's nothing funner. Just looking in the rearview mirror and just see like the puff of feathers.
It is kind of funny.
Would you call yourself a birderer? Is it play on the word murderer? Anyway.
That's all the time we have for today.
No, thanks for listening to the pilot episode of Way Off Central. If you're not back, we won't blame you. Roos are strict veggies, hey? And then I'm
Yeah.
like, where are you getting all this protein? Like, they are jacked. What?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, how do they get so jacked? Unless we need to start eating grass. Like, I don't know what the
Yeah,
go
is that all they eat? Do they eat leaves off trees? Just grass?
Yeah,
I've never seen them plucking branches.
No, you wouldn't expect it.
Kangaroos eat grasses, flowers, leaves, ferns, mosses. Oh, they do eat some insects,
Ah,
but that's probably just insects that happen to be sitting in the flowers and the grass. Like, I don't think...
They probably eat quite a bit of grain, like,
where do you get grain from?
Well, I mean, just like in your standard grass, so like a lot of seeds as opposed to like
Like
the green
wheat.
leafy bit.
As soon as I said it, I was like, oh. I remember walking to school and
Yeah,
you get them all stuck in your shoe and stuff. And
they must still eat like a massive quantity though. Like,
Yeah.
don't cows eat something like a ridiculous amount of...
yeah, cows eat
Weight.
crazy amount.
Got 4 stomachs, but don't they?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
4, 3.
Nah, cows have 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd like to actually know how much they... Like, how many kilos does a cow consume a day? I know it's a lot.
It's crazy the difference, like the space you need to keep one cow compared to something like one goat or one pig.
I like driving down the coast and seeing all the houses with their goats just slowly moseying around, mowing their lawn for them.
Okay, so for every 100 kilos of live weight, cattle will eat an average of 2.7 to 3 kilos of dry matter daily if the ration is palatable. This will vary, obviously.
It reminds me of Russell Coit.
So for a 300 kilo cow, it'll eat about 9 to 10 kilos of food a day.
That's actually a lot less than I thought.
Think about
How heavy
much
is a regular
9
cow?
to 10 kilos is, but
Nah, yeah,
just
you're
the
right.
food. Like, that's a lot.
Of grass.
Of grass, yeah. I don't even know what 10 kilos... What does 10 kilos of grass look like?
Yeah, like it's easy enough to eat like 500 gram steak, but that's a pretty dense
Yeah.
that's a dense, thick meat. Whereas if you're looking at like corn or grains, wheats, corn, seeds.
Probably put Canturf out of business.
Yeah, 100%. That's what we should do one day. Surely they have like a holiday period where none of them are there for maybe 2-3 days.
Just let loose
What,
some
just
cows.
let some cows and goats loose and stuff? You know what's cool by Canturf is, you know, those signs that they have on the side of the road? They have big ones that, you know, little puns and stuff.
50 Shades of Green.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Green and Putin the seed and it comes up Trump. So it's like, does this top dressing make my club? Yeah. So...
Not actually funny, but... You're
Yeah,
sort of
but the 50 Shades of Green was...
Yeah.
It's sexy and you grow it,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
that's
that.
a good one.
But if you come up with a good one, I think they pay you like somewhere between $250 and $500.
You think, or is this something you know?
No, I just can't remember the figure. I know they pay you.
Oh well, that's all right then. As
But-
long as they pay you, that's awesome.
Yeah,
What are we doing? What are we doing this for?
Yeah.
yeah. Just start coming
It's-
up with shit puns.
Grass puns. What could there be? I'm sure if you Google one, it'd come up. Would they use that? Surely not.
Yeah, surely they've searched the web first and gone, there's just none out here. Image for grass puns. Nah, they've all just got. Nah, they're pretty shit. Hey.
Honestly, not that surprised.
Nah, not at all. So anyway, it looks like this is it, hey? Pilot, way off central. We had a little teaser on Instagram for all 7 people that have seen it so far, so
Yeah.
pretty wrapped with that. Haven't publicised it at all yet. Not that hopefully that makes a little bit of a difference.
But I imagine when we do, it'll be like when Apple went public.
Bang.
Without a doubt.
Millions.
They can wait for it. Boom.
Got a cow helping me cut the grass. He's a lawnmower.
All right, that's good.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, that's
it.
actually decent.
Yeah. Oh. All right.
Just trying to look at my notes to see if I have anything that we can talk about. And no. Oh, actually, I don't know if I told half that paranoia game.
That's a cool game.
The
I'd
idea-
really like to play that.
Yeah.
What
the,
is it?
the idea of it is, well, yeah. So they played over in America, called Paranoia, and we'll be sitting in a circle with a group of people, and someone will say, "I'll whisper to you, Harper." Who's the ugliest person in our friendship group, and you point to Aydin.
Oh, yeah.
And no one else hears what I asked you, but they know who you chose. And we flip a coin, heads, it's a secret, tails, you have to tell them the question.
Yeah. No, yeah, I really liked
That's
the idea
awesome.
of that game.
I wish
thought
that
it
was around when
great
we were in
fun.
high school and college.
Yeah, that would have been
What an
unreal.
idea.
Like that would cause a lot of drama.
That game sounds so good that I'm nearly sure a German came up with it.
Yeah, they come up with all the good stuff,
Yeah.
don't they? You know, Bratwurst, Kranskis, My Own Kampf, all the good stuff like come out of that country.
Yeah, only positives. I don't
Yeah.
think I have a single negative connotation from Germany. Not one.
In saying that, Hitler was Austrian,
Yeah.
so you know.
But like once you become like supreme chancellor of a country,
Yeah,
like do you not
yeah,
sort
just-
of?
yeah, you sort of identify
Yeah.
as German. It's hard,
And in
that,
this
right?
day and age, identification is everything.
You seen those photos of baby Hitler?
Is he cute as?
I'm pretty sure he's a real.
Well, you put a moustache on any baby, he looks like Hitler.
No, like actually.
Oh yeah, he's real cute, isn't he?
Yeah, look
Like,
at him.
adorable.
Look at him there. Little, looks like the kid out of the Vegemite.
The one
ad,
to the
little
right is
red
hilarious.
sheet.
He did some modelling shots in. He was a very sick man, Hitler. Not as in, obviously, because he killed a lot of Jews. Well, he didn't personally, so.
Yeah, I don't know how
Well,
dirty he got his own hands.
Yeah.
It'd be a bit rude to.
But like he was like just had a lot of like stomach problems, like
Yeah,
couldn't
right.
digest foods properly, and like a lot of medical issues.
Well, I mean, he fought in World War One, so from then on, like, you know, they started using gas in World War One, like shell shock, all sorts of like bad
Do you
stuff
say
was starting to go on.
Do you say fought though? So if someone's a medic, do they fight? So I think he was a messenger in World War One because obviously you know phones weren't really.
Honestly, I reckon
he just
that'd-
hopped on his bike and between camps and whatnot delivered messages. So I believe that that's what he did. Anyone? I think you say they served in a war. Do you say they fought? I don't know. What is the protocol there?
Well, typically, like anyone who serves in a combat zone is typically considered to be like, unless they're specifically someone like Red Cross or an external party, which has really only come around since things like Geneva. But like,
I'm not sure.
I think, and especially the way it is in Australia today, regardless of regardless of your role in the military, first and foremost, you're either a soldier, sailor, or air person. So like, you could be a trained fighter pilot, but if there's no planes available, your first job is to be able to pick up a rifle and defend the country.
Yeah, okay.
So I think at that point, you do consider everyone like...
To have fought in a war.
Yeah, and even if they didn't necessarily pick up a weapon and shoot at anyone, like, it'd still be a scary situation. Like, just having... Even if you're, like, a reasonably safe distance from any battleground, like, things like artillery shelling of an area, that'd be ridiculously scary.
Yeah. Just on a separate note, very, very sad news came through the other day. Bob Hawke passed away. He did a lot. I didn't realise, because you never really... we don't seem to remember what PMs and stuff do, hey?
No, God, no.
So all I know is, during the Howard government, which was for at least most of our younger years, he banned on assault weapons. That happened after Port Arthur.
Yep.
And also in, I think, 2004, he made it a law that marriage was between man and a woman. And that, like, so it wasn't explicitly written between a man and a woman before that. And now, since 2004, that is why we had to go through the vote and now it's legal to have gay marriage again. But Bob Hawke did heaps of stuff like Medicare, float the dollar, deregulise the banking industry. So I think before him, it was mostly just CommBank and Westpac, and they just sort of were able to do what they want because they had a monopoly. Now you've got competition. You don't remember what PMs do, hey?
Especially, I don't follow politics.
No,
it doesn't interest me. I know it's like, it's the future of your country, you might as well vote. But like,
if anyone tells you your vote means anything, they're lying to you.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's just all the hoax to make people think they have a choice.
Like
that's some new world. That's some conspiracy New World Order shit, but I get around it.
Stuff.
This podcast is going to be cancelled now. As soon as we upload it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! We all just got a text from the FBI.
3 gentlemen have been targeted for mentioning the Illuminati.
3 gentlemen.
Oh,
my goodness.
3 blokes.
3 dads.
Just
3 dads. Yeah, I wonder how long it is till we start the Dudcast. So the Dudcast is a concept that we've had from Joel's twin. So basically, we'll get our mates on Way Off Central, and we'll have guests on, and that'll be a separate series to our standard podcast, and we're going to call that the Dudcast.
I'm keen for it.
Yeah. I'm keen. I'd like this to get a bit of traction. It's just going to take
a bit of time,
yeah, a bit of time.
I'm nearly more keen to see how our mates will react to this.
Yeah.
We haven't told them about this.
Yeah, so that's sort of a thing. So I'm sure other groups do it too, but whenever you do something without some of the mates, everyone just says, shot for invite and whatnot. This would be the biggest shot for invite there could be.
Oh, so, this will never be a thing that is let go of. This will live on in the history of the group.
Yeah, and I'm just I'm curious too, Joel. So we've got some friends that the only one of our mates that we've told so far is your brother.
Yeah. He's taking it well.
He's taking it like an absolute champion. And I don't even think it's because we don't want the boys on full time. I think you can't really have a podcast with more than 3 people. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
3 people and 1 guest, and that is the maximum.
We talk over each other enough. Imagine.
Imagine. Wouldn't be bad to get some real content in.
Like actual information, useful stuff.
Yeah, useful shit, not talking about fucking grass. And I can't believe that's set a terrible tone for the rest of this podcast because
stuff.
Because
Yeah,
we
we're
started
talking
with
to
grass,
ourselves.
the most vanilla. You might as well watch grass grow. Isn't it funny that we still eat Anzac biscuits?
I reckon it's great.
Well,
I
like,
love them.
They're
like
completely-
no, I enjoy them as well, but they had them back then because it was all they could really muster together easily.
Fun fact, they're actually completely different. Like, our standard Anzac biscuit is completely different to the biscuits that Anzacs typically ate.
I'd fucking hope so.
Because, like, you know, your typical ingredients, like your eggs, like everything that makes it sort of soft and fresh,
Yeah,
they didn't have that because they wanted these, like, they wanted them to work like rations. They wanted it to be, like, wholesome and fibrous, but
and
it had to
preserved.
last
Yeah.
a long time.
Bit of cardboard.
Yeah, pretty
Did
much.
they make it with honey?
I mean, they probably definitely would have had honey on them if they could get honey with it.
Because I know honey doesn't go off.
I mean, does any sugar really go off? Like,
No, but like, so the Egyptians would, like, when they're doing the preserving of bodies and stuff, use honey because it just doesn't go off. And I think the body went off, and then the honey was fine. Fuck, old Anzac biscuits look just lower end average. Really.
You can buy like army meal kits online on
Yeah.
eBay.
yeah,
They
you
haven't
can get
been
ration
opened.
kits for sure.
That'd be sick. Sick as in it'd be dirty to eat it, but it'd be cool.
They're not bad. I mean, like, obviously, if you're eating it, like, if that's all you're eating for a long time, it's gonna get old pretty quick. But I mean, I've had a few, and like, you know, for once off, you know, every other week, you're like, oh yeah, like,
But have you eaten one from the early 1900s?
oh,
No,
right,
like they
Oh,
sell
okay.
unopened, like
Jesus.
meal prep.
Because I assumed it would all just be dehydrated food that you then
pretty much.
just throw into some water and boil her up and away you
I think I watched a video on YouTube and a guy like buys one for like 1800 or something on YouTube.
$1,800 for an
Like one from World War II that hasn't been opened.
Yeah, it's
oh,
like,
like
a tries
the
piece.
ration, not like
Yeah.
a replica ration of
He,
what
like,
they would have
eats
had.
it. Yeah, it's like a
Fuck,
bag and
yeah.
it says like some like, for example, say like satay chicken, just add water. And he
Oh
does it. He's like, this is shit.
Yeah, but like chicken
Nearly
from
100 years old.
1940s,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, you're playing with fire there.
yeah, 100%. Although even salmonella would die at that point, right? Fuck.
What's a bad movie you've seen recently? I haven't seen a bad movie in a while actually.
Justice League.
Did you hear Robin Pattinson has been cast as the new Batman?
I saw that you shared it.
I don't mind that. I don't mind anyone as anyone anymore because it's already fucked. They've already made like what 2 movies with Batman and Superman. Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill no longer want to play their roles. I don't know who Superman's going to be.
Can I just say that how good would that movie have been if they just let Superman have a mustache? Like, I
Oh,
would
they
have.
blew up.
Sorry.
The fans, they blew up.
Well, here's my opinion. I've got sort of 2 takes on it, right? One, you're getting paid millions upon millions of dollars to play a certain role. It's a mustache. Just fucking shave it off.
Yeah,
But-
you know what's dumb? What's easier? CGI a mustache off
Or
or,
just-
put a fake one on for the movie role that you're also doing.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And also, another part of me is like, could have just let him have the mustache. Like, Superman with a mustache. I know it's not exactly traditional towards the comics, but is any of it really?
Yeah, you say that's not traditional to the comics, but apparently, well, I've just heard that Michael B. Jordan is interested in playing Superman.
That would also be not traditional to the comics.
Hang on,
and
hang on,
fuck,
hang on.
that'd be an awesome movie.
Maybe Superman's Asian. Maybe we get Jackie Chan to play Superman. I'd watch it.
He'd be the best Superman. He's unreal.
Exactly.
Apart from him being like 2 feet smaller than everyone else, having to wear stilts on set. Are you excited for Brightburn? The
Sorry?
new movie coming out. It's like if Superman was evil and it's the kid.
I saw the trailer for that this morning.
Looks sick.
Is it
Kinda
a horror?
scary,
It
yeah.
looks like a horror. And I'm not into horrors. I would watch that movie.
Yeah, same.
And it's a good idea. Just if Superman went the other way, it kind of just the game Injustice.
Yeah. I watched The Weeping Woman the other week.
How was that?
It's a scary movie. It's okay. I don't rate scary movies, not because I don't like them, but because they make me feel sick. Especially when it's with like demons and like poltergeists or anything like that. What do you guys think about superstitions and luck?
This is a great topic.
Is luck real? Is it fake? Do you believe in it?
It's a real...
This is one that runs in my head. You know, this is like shower thought. You can run with this rabbit hole for a long way.
Anytime our mates have ever gone to the pokies, we're all pretty shit. Nothing goes well, but then you see Snapchat stories of other group of mates and they're like hitting majors, above $500 wins.
Yeah.
We're lucky to pull out even.
See, here's my opinion on all that though. We see the wins, we never see the losses, and we very, very rarely go. Right? So for every win that we see on someone else's Snapchat story of the pokies, there's hundreds of dollars missing that we don't see. Like they're designed for you to lose money eventually. I don't think from that perspective. It was annoying when I was doing a trade because very rarely, but it happened like a couple times. People, like, if you're working up on a ladder, like, they won't go underneath the ladder. I'm like, just go underneath the ladder.
See,
I like to think of myself as a man of science.
I never used to walk under a ladder, and even around home, Dad might have a ladder, and I might go to reach under it or walk under it. He's like, don't go under it. So I've never done it. I know why, because of the superstition behind it. But if I need to go under a ladder at work, I'll stand there for about 5 seconds and go, and then walk under it.
Yeah.
For some reason though, if I ever walk back the other way, I walk under it as well, just in case like it undoes it or something.
Like a countermeasure.
Yeah.
You should walk backwards under it.
See, I do that sort of thing, but for a far different reason.
You need it to even out in your head.
Yeah, like
if one hand's cold, then you have to make the other hand cold.
Exactly.
That sort of thing.
Or like if I rolled like something through one hand and it's like it's missed the thumb, I'll make sure it gets the thumb and then I'll do it in the other hand and like. But then I'll also counteract it and have that same pause.
Yeah. See, that's weird though, because with going under a ladder or going anywhere, I often don't go back the same way I came because in my head, I think a lot of people do this. You got to make it a loop. You make it a track as opposed to back and forth because otherwise you feel like you lost progress. So the way I drive to this house and the way I drive home from this house are different.
That's odd.
I find that.
That's odd to me.
Odd.
I'm sure everyone will think that's odd. This would be good to have a questionnaire.
It would be good to have a questionnaire. Do you drive different ways to places than you do home
Having
from
said
places?
that, I tend to do that at work. Like, instead of going to one place, turning around, going back, I'll make a circuit of it and find a rhythm in doing that as opposed to just back and forth.
Yeah. That's sort of how it works. I think we make a circuit in our head.
Applying that to driving though, I just think that's weird. If I'm starting from the same point A and going to the same point B, I'll always go the same way.
No, the road is my racetrack. No, but back to superstitions though. The only time I think I've really given into superstitions is playing footy.
With what, like a lucky pair of underwear or something?
No, I did that for a season and it did all right. But I think mostly what I do is I'd go like left sock, right boot, left lace, right lace every time. And if I stuffed it up, everything came off and then we were back on again. Like, that was my superstition.
Sounds like a hindrance.
Yeah,
I don't think
it really does.
Speaking about putting on shoes and socks, recently I've been a big fan of sock shoe.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I don't mind it at
disgusting.
all.
Oh my God. You fucking animal.
But like that could also depend on how you're getting dressed. Like, I don't...
Hold up. No. We live in a society. That's not okay.
Like, I get out of the shower, like, get completely dressed, and then I don't put my shoes on until I'm leaving. Like, until I'm...
Well, obviously, I hope you would get out of the shower and just
Shoes,
put your
socks, and
socks
then put your shorts on.
straight into boots. Yeah, so, yep, that's a good idea.
Yeah, socks and shoes are always going to be the last thing that you put on. But actually, saying that, after coming out of the shower, I might put on my underwear and then socks.
But not socks first.
No, that's odd.
See, I find that. I did that this morning. I was like, ooh, what's going on here? This is a bit weird.
I feel sick. Have another shower.
You know what this topic is? It's way off central. It's way off where we started.
Oh yeah. And I don't know.
Well,
I can't think of anyone I know who would be having this discussion.
List of superstitions, and let's just have a look. Friday the 13th, bad luck.
I just thought it was meant to be scary. I never knew there was bad luck behind it.
13's a big one in China. In China, they won't have a 13th story in like high-rise buildings. It just skips past it.
Yeah, I've heard that. On the elevators, it just goes 12, 14. But you
Yeah.
know what's weird? 8's lucky.
Yeah, that is a bit odd.
Well, there's a superstition around the number 23. Like,
Is it that? Do you mean in the sporting world?
I don't know.
Because in the sporting world, Michael Jordan, David Beckham, like a lot of people have the number 23.
There's just people out there that believe it's special.
But I also kind of think it's bullshit because I always wear the number 23 of whatever chance I get, and I'm still shit. Itchy palm, good luck. I've never heard that before. I've had an itchy palm. It just seems like a hindrance.
I get itchy hands when they get like excessively cold. Like working in like the freezer at Coles,
Yeah.
my hands used to get really cold and really itchy. So I was like, that's not lucky.
Walking under a ladder. Breaking a mirror. See, I've done that a fair bit.
I've never broken a mirror.
Any demolition and stuff I've had to do.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah, you have to break a mirror. There's no way to get it off. Sure, look, maybe there is, but it's easy to just smash
Yeah,
it.
just do it a demolition. You're not gonna
If
try to
someone
save
offers you to smash a plate, you're not going to smash a plate.
Yeah, Greek wedding sort of thing. Finding a horseshoe, good luck.
I believe in that. And you tip it upside down, the luck pours out of it. You heard of that?
No.
Like the U shape, and you have to hold it with the two prongs facing up. Or,
Dirt would probably
or if
pour
you
out
go
of it.
anywhere,
Yeah.
it should be nailed on the wall with the two prongs facing up.
Right. Opening an umbrella inside. Again, that's a hindrance.
Yeah.
Ever try to walk through a door with an umbrella open?
Yeah.
I'm sort of a practical person in that regard. I open if I have used an umbrella, which is pretty rare, realistically, I'll open it up when I get into the bathroom, just like sit it in the bath so it can drip.
Yeah,
dry.
I sit in the bathtub. Knock twice on wood to reverse bad luck. I do this out of just sort of what's happened around me, but I don't know if it. I know it's not, but
Yeah, I've only ever heard of this recently, actually. I'll be talking to a boss, and I'll say, "Oh, it'd be good if this happened," sarcastically, and it'd be a real shit thing to happen. He'd be like, "Oh, touch wood," something like that.
yeah.
That's a pretty common one.
Throw salt over your
Shoulder. Nah, yeah, I've heard of that. I've never done it.
Isn't it if you?
I do it at restaurants just to be a pain and make it seem like I'm superstitious, and you can sort of almost
Just
get
to
away
throw
with it.
salt everywhere.
I think if you spill something, you throw salt over your left shoulder to counteract the bad luck of spilling something, particularly like spilling pepper.
Saying God bless you is good luck. I think at this point, it would get harsh to call it a superstition and more call it religious.
I'd
Wouldn't
nearly
you?
say good table manners. Well, just good manners. I
God
say
bless.
bless you to someone who sneezes. I don't say God bless you.
Yeah, but
I
I think
guess-
this is just in general.
For
Like-
anything. Oh, right. So
Oh no, this is in regards to a sneeze.
Right.
But they say heaps of stuff.
Like what?
Like so, going into space, they say Godspeed, and it's like their version of good luck going in.
Oh, I say that's... Well, I've heard it around. Rabbit's feet? Do you reckon they're lucky?
Rabbit foot.
That's... Yeah.
I mean, it seems a bit odd.
I
like,
find
just
it all-
taxidermy a rabbit's foot.
It seems a bit gross or harsh. Like find a rat. Either there's a lot of
Is it because
three-legged
they're
rabbits
extreme?
going around, or just slightly less rabbits with no legs.
Yeah, is it because they're extremely hard to catch? And if you manage to catch them, their feet are lucky, or unless... Yeah, don't know.
Even though rabbits are a big pest in Australia, I don't mind them. Like
No,
they're
what do
sort
they
of
do?
like- sorry?
What do they do?
Oh no, they ruin like the ground
Yeah.
and stuff, but they're sort of like the ultimate survivor, aren't they? Like they just sort of feed and run away from everything, and
They are
they
good at running.
they hide and they're agile and they're kind of good survivors.
I think a lot of people have a token, and like they've had a good experience with that token before, and so then holding that token reminds them of a good experience. They've got a far more positive energy toward their thinking, and realistically, like just having a positive outlook, thinking that this whatever situation you're in is going to end well, or be a happy situation, that improves someone's performance or it just improves the situation entirely. Having a negative outlook, from something like not having that token, I don't know that it's necessarily luck from the token as opposed to just the emotional connection that they have with it.
Yeah, it's a psych game. Like in movies, some mothers might give their daughter or son like a necklace with a picture of them in it, and or even then, like I'm sure people do it in everyday life. They'll give someone who means a lot to them an object and say, "Oh, this brought me good luck throughout the years," and in saying that, the person that has now got that token has now got a good outlook from it.
Buzz.
Just in terms of like gambling, like I probably see it quite a bit more. But so there's this guy. He's a nice enough fella. Like I know his order off by heart. Like every time he comes up, it's exactly the same thing. But he's in there pretty well every shift I ever work, and he's just slapping 20s through the pokies the whole time. And every other week he's coming out with a $1,400 win or $1,600 win, and he's actually really nice about it. Whenever he gets a big win, he sort of like gives a tip to all the bar stuff. It's great. But I sort of sit there and watch him, and I'm thinking like, surely this occasional $1,400 win or something like that, surely it's not covering the every second day putting 200 in, 300 in. Surely it's not like, surely the dividends aren't matching up.
Yeah, I know one person that is up on the pokies. So my girlfriend's brother, he's had a few big wins for someone that very rarely goes, and he's smart about it, but he's taken it, set it aside in the bank, and that's it. Very rarely plays them at all now because he's got his big wins, and he just has that sitting there. Like I think one win was like 24k. Like it's big solid wins, but even you're probably not breaking even if you're going all the time, or even over a lifetime. Let's say every now and then you were just to go to the pokies like we do. Let's say it would be once every 2 months, I want to say, on average, if that.
Yeah.
If that. And it's like $120 hit. But let's say one day we win a major at like, we're 35. Probably just breaking even, maybe. Like...
Yeah.
It's not designed for you to come out on top. It's a game. Some people find it fun. Not opposed to them, but
it actually is sort of bad. Like where I work, like we're encouraged to keep people playing the pokies.
Yeah, it's a bit disgusting.
Like
that fact.
Like a lot of people actually find it really confronting. Like some people leave because of it. They're like, we can see that it's a problem, and obviously, if we recognise a problem, we take steps to alleviate the issue. But
Do you?
Do you guys really?
To,
because surely, if you're seeing someone in, day out, like you'd have plenty of regulars that are sitting there, and it's hard, right? Because the club's got to make money, and the club's there, and whilst they'd be making profits, it's also sort of there for the community, and their main source of the income is the pokies. But it's sad that it's not everyone in moderation. It's actually just a smaller group of people that have a problem. If everybody who came through that club was to once every 2 months maybe put $20 through, it'd probably be a similar result to this finite group of people that are addicted and go there so regularly. But
it's hard though. Like
it's hard to stop them all. One, because if you try and stop them, they're going to go somewhere else and play the pokies, right?
Exactly.
And two, if you do sort of alleviate them, well, that's fantastic for them, absolutely. And I don't sort of wish that sort of addiction upon anyone, but it is going to inevitably lose the club some money. And there is like there are laws around it, right? Like the pokies have to pay back. Like I think they're only allowed to make like 20%. At least in New South Wales, that was the law.
Yeah, I thought it was 85%.
Return or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's quite rigorous standards in terms of the industry.
How well is that regulated, I wonder? Because I think often when clubs, let's say a club's losing money and it's closing down, I remember this was happening pretty recently in a club around town. So they were closing down, they'd lost a bit of money, and you saw heaps of major wins on the pokies there. And I think it's probably because they were closing up their books. Like they had to make up to that 85% return.
Right, I understand.
Yeah.
So meaning throughout the history of that pub or whatever it is, they had the return rate down on the machines and turned it up.
Because they had to.
See, I thought it would have made sense the other way. Like they're closing down, so they're trying to get as much money as they can out of anyone who comes in.
Yeah, you'd think so, but then they get taken to court
exactly.
when someone looks through the books. So, yeah, I don't know how well policed it is. But, you know, you got to take it that they're probably doing the correct thing. I find it interesting. Do you think it's wrong when there's clubs that belong to churches that have pokie machines? Do you think that's almost sort of counterintuitive? They're for the community, or therefore it could even be opposed to their religion. I don't know. I need to do a bit more reading if I'm perfectly honest. But it seems just a bit funny that so many are allowed and that's their major source of income, but you are owned by your Catholic or Christian church.
Yeah. Going back on like rigorous tests that they should be doing on pokies to ensure that they're set to the rate that legally they should be at. We put a lot of faith in that. Like, they could be putting 91 petrol in the 98 and we'd be none the wiser.
Yeah, I think that stuff does get tested every now and then by like a current affair.
And I saw a picture on Facebook and someone's blowing up. They're like, I put 20 litres gallon drum, 20 litre drum.
Yeah.
And I filled it up and the machine said it was only $18. What the hell? And then everyone's roasting them in the comments saying like, what's going to be more accurate? This plastic tub that's been warped by the sun or the rigorous maintained?
100%. So I thought that. So I've filled up any number of jerry cans to fill machinery, and I'd usually get about 22 to 24 litres in based on what the machine said, and I was like, this has been warped by the sun. Usually I think they do have a bit more because I don't think it's meant to be right to the top.
No.
So I think maybe you have some servos that are a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
But I think based on the fact that they probably get audited, whereas I've never heard of a club getting audited on the pokies.
Yeah. No.
And in regards to fuel, yeah, look, we'd maybe be none the wiser, but sometimes you get a batch of bad fuel.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And for when that happens, there's every chance it gets tested and, yeah, you have a problem.
It can also come down to, like, the calibration of the equipment. Like, it's not going to be foolproof. Like, given a couple of years of use without, maintenance or something like that, all your metering of volume and pretty well everything in, like, a fuel pump, there's going to be slight deviations. So, yeah, like, you do have to account for that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's maybe some of the only comfort we can take out of the petrol thing is if you put 98 in, I think you visibly get better economy.
Yeah, I've always
100% get just better economy.
Yeah. And I've never heard of a petrol station or a club like getting pinned for their like faulty equipment or trying to scam the public. And is that because it is set to rigorous standards or because it's not maintained? Like no one's checking.
I don't know. The only thing I've heard of petrol stations doing is putting out of order signs on pumps that aren't out of order if they're like they've got a cheaper day because they've had to match a rival service station or whatever's going on.
So not as much people come through for fuel because
Yeah,
it's
which
busier.
you think would still mean they're losing money. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. But I've definitely heard of out of order pumps being put, out of order like signs being put on pumps that are still fine, at least according to the fine people at a current affair.
Aydin and I were talking today. What does Canberra need? Like, we were driving around. It was a decent day today. Like, this is nice. Like, Canberra's not a bad place to live in. And we brought it up. I saw it on Facebook, so I don't know how true it is, but someone was moving to get an inflatable, like, obstacle course on top of Lake Billy Griffin, like one of the water obstacle parks.
And we're saying, how good would it be if they cleaned up that lake? If the water there was crystal blue, I reckon we'd be there every other weekend. Imagine that. Everyone's jumping in the lake.
Yeah, I was saying, imagine the tourists like that are coming, like just a crystal clear lake.
I think the original intention for Lake Billy Griffin, like as the centre feature of Canberra, like I think the idea was to have things like boat shows and like big like attractions on the lake, whereas like in recent years everything's just sort of died off. Like we've obviously had Skyfire and things like that, but
That's probably going to die off too now after
Yeah,
the
exactly.
explosion.
But yeah, like I think it was, well, maybe it wasn't intended for that sort of thing, but I think that's what we definitely need to do. Like Canberra as a city doesn't have a lot that everybody's like sort of really wanting to go to.
Yeah, because what runs through Lake Burley Griffin is, I think it's the Molonglo River.
Yeah,
Maybe that just needs to
Yeah.
be, like, we've just got to find a way to clean the water. At least it's going into the lake up.
And then again, every big storm comes, all the branches and trees that fall into that river catch all the junk, and
Yeah, and
all
there's
gets
nowhere
pushed
really to
eventually.
take it away, right?
Yeah, and being
It's
like
gotta
an
get
urban,
started.
like it's surrounded by the city. Like, it's not like it's a natural environment. Like it's a manufactured lake, but
I'm sure there's a way to do it. I'm sure there's a way to clean up a large body of water, even just the colour. Like, there's got to be a way, but in saying that, maybe you cause some damage to the fish in there. I don't know. We've seen how long it took our city to put up a light rail. Mate. Who
Yeah.
knows how long this would take? Not in our lifetime.
Well, you can. Flowing water is obviously fresher, so fountains, and we've got a fountain there.
Yeah, another man-made fountain.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And what else? Like large bodies of like water thriving plants eat
Yeah.
bacteria.
yeah, there's not a lot. Like, well, a substantial part of the lake is surrounded by concrete. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
there's a lot that is not actually natural about it.
All things aside, like, we actually do live in quite a pretty city. There's a lot of angles that you can look at it that you go, actually, this is really nice here. We get 4 proper seasons here. The leaves change during autumn properly. Like, everything's
Gets stinking hot.
It's-
Gets freezing cold.
the only good thing about our heat is it's not humid.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
And then everybody starts sneezing for a bit.
Yeah,
That's our 4th season.
I'd jump in Lake Burley Griffin every weekend if it was clean.
I've been at
It
Skyfire on
used
New
to be.
Year's.
People
Like-
do it. Well, people do it still. It's just disgusting. Like,
I used to swim there quite often. Like, we'd go out with the church group.
that makes sense.
I actually have an 11th toe. No, I'm just kidding.
One year for the New Year's fireworks there, or Skyfire, I can't remember. Someone, like this group of mates were jumping in the lake. I was like, yeah, that looks kind of fun. And I look a bit over and there's like just a floating rat just dead on the water. I was like,
That's disgusting.
and they get big. I've
Rats.
seen some rats around Tuggeranong Lake and I could have sworn it was an otter. Like, there's just it goes under the water. You're like, what was that? Was that a fish that just jumped out? And that resurfaces in like 30 seconds. It just like, it's paddling. It's got the gas on.
Jeez.
That thing eats ducks.
I sort of feel like it'd be cool to have a city in like a really arid environment. Like I think I would like to naturally see like big lizards and stuff like crawling around.
Like a guitar string in the background as it cuts to the town.
Yes. Yeah, some real like Rango.
Oh, and like a hawk or eagle cry in the background, so you know it's fucking
Tumbleweeds.
yeah.
Meow, meow, meow.
So all right, so sorry guys, I'm going
So
to
the
Texas.
town-
So I'll see you later.
So the town on Cars,
Yeah.
the movie Cars.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, we have towns like that.
You know the Pink Lake, wherever that is in Australia. I wonder if that's part of
That's the Northern Territory, isn't it?
that water. I could have sworn it was
Australia's Pink Lake.
more south.
I thought it was North Queensland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was north.
Larger map. Give me a sec. Oh wait, no, hold on. I've made a terrible error. No, that's
Oh, well, you're pretty.
that's a WA.
Yeah, we're both. We're all off.
We are all well off. You know what? It's a pretty major thing. Do we even know what causes it?
Yeah, it's a certain type of algae that can only grow because of the amount of salt in that body of water.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a bit odd.
Like if it was less salty, that algae couldn't thrive. And if you swim in it, you will die.
Yeah.
Like it is toxic. And it's amazing how close it actually is to the ocean. There's maybe like it's
we've
40 metres.
Yeah, there's not much in it.
40 metres of land between the Pink Lake and the actual ocean.
There's some amazing bodies of water. I think the Dead Sea is really cool.
It's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, like you would just float on that because of how much salt it is. So where is it? It's in between. I think it's bordered by Jordan to the east and Israel and the West Bank to the west.
In saying that, does that mean because it's not pink, is it saltier than the Pink? Like, is it not as salty as the Pink Lake, or is it so much more saltier than the Pink Lake that algae can't survive there?
All I know is if you hop on it, you will float. That is all I know.
You can walk on this water. No.
Yeah, this is the water that Jesus walked on.
You know what? Be careful because it is bloody close to Jerusalem.
Exactly. That's like,
That could very
This is
well
what's
be
going
where
on
that
here.
story. Yeah,
He's
hold
got like-
on, wait a second. I don't want to deconstruct the Bible.
This is
but-
way off central, and we're discussing conspiracy theories.
so he's actually just gotten Leonardo's like water shoes, like the first prototype of water shoes. And he strolled
That
on
is
down
a
to the Dead
wildly
Sea.
different time period. But
Well, the first prototype. He strolled on down to the Dead Sea. He's like, "Oh, you get this right. Oh, everyone, check this trick out. This is pretty good."
whoa,
Explain
his
the
first
wine,
step.
Harper.
what's that? Oh, Harry Houdini. No, you know what the wine was? Pink Lake.
So that probably wraps us up, guys. So yeah, thanks for coming in and having a listen to Way Off Central. This has been our pilot episode. We hope you join us next time.